all but one have to fall to prove their mettle. And the other regions, they're lying in wait to prey on their mistakes. Moist, the first to stumble. Make sure to grease your bumper, because the first rule of the game, it's not only gonna be honored, it's gonna be enforced. Two dreams enter, only one can remain. Yup versus Mina, Moist versus Rule 1.
Rule 1 has marched through South America, taken down Oceania, and knocked out North America's finest, and now a European giant of Moist tries to douse their hot streak.
Can they do it? A main event spot at the World Championships on the line, V1 at home. Boy, oh boy, they're gonna be nervous.
You would think that, but based on the Complexity Series, Rule 1 seemed to have their wits about them, where Moist, they were thumped pretty badly in their series versus Carmine Corp. See if Juicy can get off to a good start. Rebound there from Cash. Cash trying to force that to the middle, picked up by Mawson. Mawson over to Rawas. Rawas
I love
to
it.
Kaliers, and Kaliers continues his scoring streak.
Yeah, the momentum of this team after the Complexity win, all the confidence in the world. Whereas Moist, on the other hand, they were dismantled a little bit by K-Corp. Perhaps they're still feeling those losses in game number 1.
And that's not going to help you feel any better.
No.
With Kaliers sniping the top corner once more in an isolation play, but no boost. What'll he do? Goes for a bump. Rebound out to Rawas, but kicks out to Cash. Now Cash.
It's open, it's open.
Gonna try to dribble that right to net, but Mawson from underneath comes up and saves that. But now another shot saved by Kaliers.
It's a rinse and repeat from the Complexity Series, Rule 1 again. Defensive masterclass, it's been 50 seconds into the game. More shots, Juicy fires it high. Kaliers can't quite get the touch where he wants. Joyo keeping the ball in, another 50. Rule 1, permanently in defense. As I said, Complexity Series, rinse and repeat.
Rule 1, a tough nut to crack. And now offensively, we see another play coming up. There's a rebound out to Kaliers. Kaliers high off the bar, and now Juicy racing downfield, 2 boosts, picks up a small pad, goes for the pass, gets demoed for his efforts. And now Joyo, double tap, Cash helping out. Back to the middle for Juicy. Juicy towards net, forces a double commit. And it's saved well enough to slow down the Moist attack.
Everyone again just stuck pretty deep here in defense. They do have the 1-goal lead. Joyo, he's trying to cook, can't quite get in the kitchen right there. Kaliers on the sidewall. Cash's pre-jump, couldn't get the touch. Another shot on net. Juicy can't get the bar down. Joyo has to fly. Rule 1 almost getting their second. They're low on boost. They're trying to work it out. Cash the cannon, launching it forward now. Kaliers awkward on the post. Roas working it out. Rule 1, they do look comfortable. Even when they're so awkward in defense. More shots on net. Moist, they need their first goal on the board here. 3 minutes on the clock.
And you can see Joyo trying to get the bump on Rawas. Now finds himself in a 1v1. There's the air dribble bump attempt, but Joyo sniffed it out early. He's able to dodge it, but there's those demos. We saw those used and abused in the last series Rule 1 played against Complexity, and already they're getting physical.
He's the aggression, Joyo. He's only got 12 boosts, but he's trying to push forward. They want to force this offense here onto Rule 1. Will low boost themselves. Kaliers taps to the corner. Tries to make it work. Joyo now gets the touch, the intercept. Again, Rule 1 in defense, but as I said in the last series, James, they love it this way. They want to be there. They want to overcommit, or at least let Moist overcommit here. What can Joyo do? Blocked out by Mawson. Another demo coming through. A bit of pressure now, a bit of presence up front from Moist.
Well, that's a nice tip, but it still leads to a Moist possession. Cash tried to take it airborne. Kaliers will launch it over to Mawson. Mawson on low boost, steals the corner. Goes for a bump as well. Rawas in the air, there's a demo. Rawas going for an air dribble bump, hits it, but Joyo saves it again. And Kaliers doesn't make contact on the shot. Surely you thought he had it.
He was so worried about Joyo coming in off the ceiling of the net and just didn't get contact. Fantastic defense from Moist, but they need to get a goal of their own. Joyo throws it across. Juicy's there, he's got a reset, doesn't quite get the touch, but can the cannon go bang?
And finally Moist break through. We see Rawas and Mawson both jumping up there. Kaliers trying to sneak near post. And the shot was well placed, a little bit far post with height to freeze that defender in net. So Moist stabilized.
It's a reward for effort there. They've had so much offense. 3.5 minutes gone of game number 1 here, and well, they've won the kickoff. The demos are going to help this Moist offense if they can get it down the other end. Joyo, spying time in the corner, gets around 150, around 2 as well. Rule 1 all tracking back. They want to be down there. As we said, forced Moist to overcommit.
Really nice tip there by Monson.
Yeah.
Made Joyo use up all his boost. It's working with nothing right there. Juicy does go for a stealing pass, but Clears will easily hit that over to Monson. Waiting on the side, broken up by Cash. Backboard bounce, Juicy up, but it's tipped all the way back, one-on-one. And you see Joyo ready for it. Monson's shot wasn't even on target.
He couldn't quite get the touch that he wanted there, Joyo, or Boston, should I say, here is Roas. Working the ball forward, 45 seconds left. Are we going to get another OT? We know what happened in game 1 for Rule 1 against Complexity. A 0-second goal. Maybe they want some of their own here. 35 now, Roas pushing forward. Rule 1 trying to get some offense, but Joy's got to get a counter. He's off the spot. Oh! He's got a musty. Boston's awkward off the backboard. Moist again, pushing forward, more shots on net. All 3 of Rule 1 right backed up into their net, and they do work it out. 20 on the clock.
Joyo trying to get around the ball to rip it. Forces Roas to hit it to the corner. Moist having much more possession in these final moments. Backboard opportunity, drop down in front of net. Clears, staying behind the ball, goes for a 50. Monson will collect it. The mid boost is there for him. Monson up the ceiling, going for the tip down, but Cash will hit it, and we've got overtime game 1.
Of course we've got overtime. You can't split these 2 right now. It's all about the kickoff presence. That's what Johnny loves. Boston now, Rule 1, winning the kickoff. Early aggression, 50s coming through.
There's a demo.
The demo as well is going to help out Moist. The more bumps, Rule 1 this time, taking their turn for the aggression for the offense. As Cash working around the board, offloads it to Juicy. He's not boost, he's got to fake it out. What can Joyo do? He's got the flip reset. He blocks out everyone. But Rule 1, hold on.
Rule 1 setting up defense on the goal line nicely. Setting up for that flip reset push attempt from Joyo. And there's a shot. A rebound out! And it kicks out to the corner. Cash with a cheeky touch there.
Rule 1 are just so casual in defense, even just there. Happy to 50-50 right in front of their net. Joyce, oh, that's an exceptional touch there. Khalees is ready for it off the backboard. Joyo waiting in the wings. Cash is awkward, has to parry it up front. Let's get the touch and the dunk as well. Moist pushing forward, minute gone now in overtime. It's in front of the net, Roas gets it out. Joyo, more 50s in midfield, more presence here from Moist. Cash has to back it off, there's an infield, but Juicy's ready.
Cash trying to go for a 50. The lead to a rebound, Joyo. Flip reset now behind the ball, infield attempt, but Roas battles through. 1v1, going for the air dribble, dunk! And Roas with the overpower!
He's done it all himself here in the overtime. Game number 1 to Rule 1, and Roas, the hero, over the top of Cash, taking out the first.
Roas in an isolation play, and we've seen Rule 1 go for this a lot, especially in the Complexity series. They're very happy to bring that ball airborne and either go for the bump or go for that 50. They are so comfortable in those situations.
And if it's anyone in that 1v1, you want Roas. I know these guys are incredible individually, all of them, but Roas, he is that 1v1 player. We know the record that he has in that game mode, and he just has so much confidence. He looks so comfortable in that situation. Cash, unfortunately, tried to make the save, but it's so hard in that situation, tracking back. Moist will not want to be exposed to that sort of a situation again.
And this is another situation where Rule 1, they are the underdogs. You could even see it on the desk. They have been having to prove to everybody over and over that they are world class. And with that game, I think it puts everybody on watch, especially the Twisted Minds fans in MENA, and also the Version 1 fans in North America. This is where seasons end in this series. And for Rule 1, they're not just playing for that extra slot, they are playing for that main event spot, and it looks like they deserve it.
And V1 need another EU team to try and save them as well, to save their world spot. So some of the North American fans might be converting to Europe for this series. However, Rule 1, I mean, what a support from the MENA region as well. Obviously, Sunless Khan, he's here in the arena. Shout out to him. I'm sure he's nervous right now, but he's pretty happy with that game number 1.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's been, I'm sure, stress-inducing watching Rule 1 play this event, but it has been entertaining to say the least. Rule 1, they get that first game. And I'm sure now they believe they have what it takes. Moist look like they are still reeling even after that loss to Carmine Corp. The offense not yet to come alive.
Well, they didn't have too long to reset after that series. There was just one series in between that loss against K-Corp, whereas, as we said, Rule 1 had such a fantastic showing against Complexity, taking them down 3-1. So you just feel like this snowball, this momentum. We know what Rule 1 can do with confidence. We saw it against Power to complete that reverse sweep. But Joyo, feels like Moist, they have this land buff no matter who's on the side. They're never out of a series.
It is still quite early. We'll see what Rule 1 can do. Juicy poking this ball downfield. And there's a demo. Juicy demoing Clears. Mawson now creeping up. Cash, ball gets away from him a little bit. Rawas, did he get the flip reset? Tough to tell. Still behind it. Leaving space for Clears. Now back to the middle. Joyo down to Cash. Cash has that play broken up by Mawson. Now Mawson finds Clears. Great first touch into an air dribble. Going for the demo again. Clearing the way. Rebound out. It's too much of a bounce for Mawson. But you can see that threat form once more.
Yeah, Mawson just not quite ready for the touch. A little bit crept up there. Juicy does get a great sideball double, but this time Clears is ready. Juicy with the follow-up now. Moist, again, trying to build that offense. It's a scary thing, though, against this Rule 1 lineup, as we said. We saw what Rawas did in the counter-attack situation, in those one-on-ones. Moist don't want to be over-committing, but they do want to be sending these bumps through. Rawas again forcing a challenge on Cash, third man for Moist. Now it's Rule 1 pushing forward. Clears gets 50'd out there. Joyo doing it all himself as the demo's coming through on the side of Rule 1. Rawas a huge beat. Clears is circling, but Cash just does enough.
Yeah, Cash on the respawn, able to get boost. Now we see the passing play off the board, out rebound to Cash, and Cash can't get around it. Golden opportunity there for Moist. Gonna want that one back.
Boston now working it out in the corner. Juicy getting a 50. How about another one? Cash is working it in there as well. Moist throwing up the aggression. Joyo's committed, last man. Interesting. It's going to leave Juicy back on an island as Mawson just gets the beat out. Moist, another double commit. Looking perhaps a little bit nervous. Their structure falling apart. Roas now in the air. More 50s coming from Rule 1. They are certainly looking in control of this game.
Especially Roas. We saw him score that last game-winning goal for Rule 1 by playing that 50 in the air. Rule 1 happy to do that. They have been dominant in that aspect of the game. Joyo trying to retain possession, but Roas again breaking up the passing lane. Juicy dodging the bump attempt from Mawson. Clears up around Joyo, putting pressure on Cash. Cash back down to the ground, will pop it high. You see Joyo swerve for that back corner boost. Rawas leaves it for Clears, who gets a flip.
I love it.
He's waiting to use it, finally does, but Joyo got up high on the challenge.
Yeah, forced out a double commit from Moist as well, though. Rule 1, they're starting to win this midfield game. They're looking comfortable, as we said, throwing those handoffs in the air. Again, another fake through. The delayed flip reset, perhaps an opening. Oh, down, it's down the other end. Joyo, can he hook it through? Juicy's in the center. Pass across, shot on net. Moist get the first in game 2.
Juicy has to dodge the oncoming bump attempt that he knows is going to be coming. So he jumps early, and it's a perfect pass into the middle. Moist are starting to get their feet under them. They get that go-ahead goal, but will it be enough? Rule 1 has been a tough opponent to put down.
It's a fantastic touch there from Joyo. It was very awkward there. You want to capitalize on those counter-attack open net situations, but the ball wasn't in the best spot. Juicy, however, positioning fantastically, and it is Moist capitalizing this time on a counter-attack. Usually it is Rule 1 doing the counter-attacks to their own. Clears going low, faking everyone. Ground pitch as well. Joyo's so awkward, but again, the mechanics getting him out of that tough situation.
And a team buff.
More bumps, more double commits as well as Clears has to buy time. That's not great, Juicy. The 50-50 coming through. Moist pushing forward. Cash wants another one. Roas is meeting him in the air. Clears underneath the ball now. Rule 1 with 45 on the clock. James, they need to start an attack right now.
And Mawson does that by winning the 50.
Oh, it's just open!
Open net for Clears!
Where did that come from? Where is this open net? It's Mawson with the 50. Joyo going for corner boost. They just completely beaten to the ball. Roas doing all the work.
Joyo did not expect that touch off the hood of Rawas's car. Rawas putting that into the most deadly spot on the pitch. And the shooter is the shooter for Rule 1. Clears has been incredible all tournament long with his scoring.
It was an overtime in game 1. Are we going to see another one here in game 2? This will be Moist with the last attack. Having said that, here we go. Clears throwing it forward. Moist happy to sit back. Cash throwing it up. Joyo's got space. Up in the air, off the ceiling. Again, pre-jump by Roas, meeting him to the challenge, meeting to the task.
Rule 1, rising to the task. All event long, clears the double, blocked by Joyo. Joyo with a heroic save, and now on the other end, beats it. It's gonna roll up the wall.
Juicy, drop down, maybe a touch. No, he hits the ground. Joyo was there. He was ready to put it away, but the ground has saved Rule 1. Moist almost tying up the series, but we are in overtime, and again, it's Rule 1 straight off the kickoff. No room to breathe here, ladies and gents. Roas coming off the sidewall. Juicy waiting down, a great low 50 there, but right now it's Moston. Oh, Joyo's awkward. Cashes even more. Rule 1, 2-zip.
Moston for Rule 1, opting for the chip. Joyo stretching out, but not far enough. The lane was open and Mawson strikes true. And Rule 1 now have a 2-0 lead over Moist. And Moist, they are on a 4-game overtime losing streak right now. They lost those 2 overtime games to Carmine Corp. Now they lose these 2 overtime games to Rule 1. That has to affect you mentally. Though you don't forget about those, CJ. I mean, even when you're playing ranked, those overtime losses, they sting. And when it's back to back, it's like getting hit in the same spot on your shin over and over again, and it hurts so much that Moist now is calling a timeout.
I mean, you have to call a timeout here, 2-0 down. You don't want to be going 3-0 in this best of 7. It's so hard to reverse sweep, let alone on land, so maybe a chance here, an extra minute for Moist to reset and just figure out what's going wrong. Again, that goal, it seemed a little bit avoidable. I know that Joyo was caught out, but Cash going in off the ceiling, I don't think he needed to go in from the roof of the net, and just made it a lot harder than it needed to be.
And just looking at the scoreboard from this last game, Clears had 5 shots. All right, guess how many Moist had? They had 2, both of them from Juicy, I believe. But Moist, they just were so flat on offense. The physicality from Rule 1, their 50s are so good, and they're just breaking up every single play. Roas, every time you go for a passing play, especially a high pass, it seems like Roas is already there and beating you by 2 or 3 car lengths.
I mean, Rule 1 are a confidence team, and right now they have a world of confidence. As we said, it feels like ever since that Game 3 against Power yesterday, starting that reverse sweep, they absolutely stopped that team. They beat Complexity handedly earlier on today, and now this team is absolutely in form. Moist, what can they do off the timeout, and can this man keep on squatting for the next 20 minutes?
I don't know. It is NA, and NA has been running out of gas, so maybe it'll last the timeout. But regardless, all the version 1 fans at home watching, frightened because they think surely Rule 1 can't beat Complexity. Rule 1 beats Complexity. Surely EU will save version 1 yet again. And now we see Moist falling to Rule 1.
Come on, get louder! I mean, this arena is absolutely electric. And as you said, James, the fairy tale run, you just feel like it has to come to an end at some point. But it's just not. The train keeps on rolling. Game 3, here we go.
Moist, they called the timeout. They tried to stop this Rule 1 team that's been on a hot streak. Will we see adjustments? Will we see progress? Or will we see more Rule 1 domination? Roas answers that question.
You just can't stop the kids right off the timeout. They don't care. Bang! 21 seconds into Game 3. It's Rule 1 again. This team, well, they're just staring down the barrel of a top 4 at their first major.
And what a major it has been, Rule 1. They've been doubted. They've had a slow start. They lost to Team BDS. They struggled a bit against Power. But like you said, CJ, after that Game 3, this has been a different Rule 1 team altogether.
They've been phenomenal. I can't believe it. The nerves just seemingly not affecting them. And every game they play on land, James, they're just getting better, they're growing in confidence, and they're putting away teams like this, world-class teams from Europe of all regions. As Kaliers parries it to the side, a great touch, it gives room for Roas to work with. An instant challenge from Cash. Interesting to see how Moist changed it up off that timeout.
But there's a nice demo from Cash. Opening up space now for Moist. The ball down, 2 go for Rule 1. Rebound now for Cash. Cash is denied. Kaliers and Roas both stepping up to get saves.
Huge, absolutely huge. They're Rule 1. And I mean, this team, if we're looking at defensive MVP of the tournament, give it to all of them here. Having said that, there it is again. Another save, this time it's Kaliers, the hero for Rule 1. A counter-attack now down the other end. Mostyn straight on there, Roas is in there as well. Can Cash get it to work? Have they overcommitted? Oh no, you betcha, there's always someone back from Rule 1.
No, they haven't overcommitted. Another save comes out. Mostyn first, now Roas. Roas in a one-on-one play, going for the double. Roas is the answer.
What a play from Roas. Cash doesn't get the touch and he knows there's a defender back, so he doesn't go for the shot, he goes near post backboard double. What a go-ahead goal, what a play there from Roas, just in the moment knowing that he has to do something special to beat that last man and executes correctly.
Another pass that's broken up from Cash. Cash on the dominance. To an air dribble off the ceiling, has his flick and gets a dunk of his own.
It was just that threat of the flip. He got the reset off the ceiling and he just held it. He waited for the challenge. Eventually Kaliers bit. Roas in net hoping that he'd get a touch, that his teammate could get something on it. But Cash, a little bit of individual brilliance brings the margin back to 1.
The shock paddles from Cash's shot starting to bring life back to Moist. They're still trailing. Juicy will lob it towards the backboard. Nice tip there from Roas all the way down. Cash to Juicy. Juicy will keep it. Now a drop pass, and that's broken up yet again by Roas.
I mean, these guys are so good in defense. I don't know how they do it so consistently. They just get a body in the way of every single shot. Even if it's on the goal line here, Cash tries to wedge it off the bar. Roas meets him. Front post players right now, all of Rule 1, look at them. They're going off the ceiling. They're waiting in the wings, waiting on the backboard, and they get the reset. Cash throws himself forward, but it's getting desperate now from Moist. The touches aren't what they want. They're just not quite getting the value. Can Cash get a dunk? No, again, Rule 1 are just so frustrating in net.
Cash, no boost. He had a little bit, maybe could have adjusted on that shot. Now an infield pass will be ripped wide. Roas back to the middle, awkward for Juicy. Juicy tipping it straight up, will be able to get back for a challenge. However, Kaliers still going. Forces Joyo out. Joyo snagging that corner boost. He's got 100. Tries to take it down to the ground and ends up pinching straight back towards his net. Juicy demos Roas, but Mostyn will be there for the deep clear back to Moist's half.
Yeah, Rule 1 are just ready for everything right now. Joyo, what has he got in the locker? Can he pull out something new, something Rule 1 haven't seen before? Right now, the answer is no. Juicy, last man, has to get a good touch. He gives Cash an opportunity. He just flicks it early. Joyo redirect sidewall corner double. It goes wide. Juicy follow up again. Another body in the way. Mostyn getting something on it, just getting a bit of leather on the ball. Juicy meeting it in midfield. Minute 10 now. Moist have to find a way. Are they going to go down 3-0 here? Joyo ceiling, reset, one more. Put it on net, baby! Put that one home!
A 10 out of 10 from Joyo! The flip reset to hit the ball off the ceiling. He lulls you to sleep and then drops that dream on you.
I asked if he had anything else in the locker. Did he have a new bag of tricks? Well, he just found something else entirely. Joyo, some heroics there. The kid, the absolute weapon, the freestyle god, doing it again here for Moist. Back to level now. They need to win this game. They need to get their first game on the board.
You're certainly right, CJ. This is a must-win game from a Moist team that's been struggling to get their footing. But that shot from Joyo, maybe that is the turning point for them, similar to the Rule 1 Game 3 against Power. Maybe we'll see that here from Moist. Right now, we're positioned for another overtime, and the overtimes have not treated Moist well.
No, they're not quite going their way of late, as you said before this game. That's a big whiff coming out. Kaliers has to bail out. His teammate does so. Again, more frustrations have to be coming through from Moist, even when Rua make mistakes. And maybe now a chance. Hang on a minute. The reset. Juicy meets him in the air. Rule 1, the counter-attacks just come out of nowhere. They're so fast, so much speed coming through. 10 seconds now. It feels like Moist want the OT. They've got no presence. Roas, low 50, puts across. It's on target, stayed down. Clears now. We're going to have overtime. Moist Esports are sweating buckets, ladies and gents.
Oh, they certainly are. Moist, they can sense the pressure. Cleared out by Roas. Joyo hit one highlight shot, but stopped from doing another, at least for now. Cash back towards net, out of boost. Weak hit to the corner. Cash stays in the play, trying to pop it up before bailing out.
I like seeing some physicality now from Moist, throwing in some bumps as well. Cash just staying around, choosing not to rotate out is going to be handy, but Rule 1 still pushing forward. Cash meeting it in midfield now. Gets the skim across. Where's Joyo? He's got to wait for Kalias to go forward. Mawson meets him in the air. Cash gets the huge demo. Gets the boost as well to work with. He's going for the air dribble. Roas is awkward. The dominance, the length, it's just going miles right now. Juicy faked out. Roas hits the ball forward. Can Joyo do it? Can he get another one on target?
Joyo!
Get there first!
Joyo answering the call when Moist needed a hero. Joyo, not only that shot, the flip reset off the ceiling, but then the overtime winner there to stop the bleeding for Moist. They were on a 4 overtime losing streak, and it ends there with the heroics from Joyo. Joyo, the clear MVP in that game.
It's Joyo versus Roas. Look at that scoreboard. 720 points, both with 2 sausage rolls, 2 goals to their name. And plenty of saves to boot as well. This is an absolute series, and what a game to step up. Coming off the timeout, James, 2-0 down. They were also down in that game as well. They had to fight back, and it was Joyo, the individual brilliance, not only in regulation, but also there in the overtime.
Joyo, I mean, you can see him getting hyped, and he was incredible to behold in that game. And like you said, it was a battle from behind. Roas was popping off that game. He had that close range double tap, but Joyo stood in his way. And the spring major, this is really where he shines. If you remember last year, he was the MVP, and it was a crazy story hearing about how he was there in season 5, watching that famous goal that Justin scored in London, and then eventually became a champion himself in that very Copperbox arena.
This is a phenomenal series here, ladies and gents. I just feel like something's in the air. I feel like we're going to see our first Game 7. But it's all here now, Utopia. Game number 4. Moist Esports get their first on the board. Do they use that momentum, or is it going to be Rule 1 to move on to match point? We're about to find out, James.
We certainly are. And it looks like Moist, they are not giving up. Despite the trials, despite the tribulations, the losses, the pain, they are fighting through it. Rule 1 has been a formidable foe. They've been taking down giant after giant. Will Moist be one more notch they can add to their belt?
Roas very awkward in the corner. Both of Rule 1 trying to work it out. More counterattacks coming through. The kids are pushing forward. Joyo meets them there. Boston very awkward. One more touch. A bounce dribble somehow. And a 50 to Cash. Is that going to be open? Khaleesi in time off the post.
How many times have we seen that from Rule 1? Streaking back with just enough time to get there for the save.
Ooh.
They always make you think they're overextended, but they get there to make the save, and that has to be frustrating.
A big Cash whiff there in net. It felt like BDS last series. In midfield, should I say. Very awkward under the ball. It's leading to a couple of double commits. Both teams very nervous, very awkward now. Cash gets the touch, a backflip there. Coming through from Juicy is Rule 1 pushing forward. Cash now, hang on a minute, off the touch, no way, Dominus, Roas meets him on the backboard. Juicy pushing forward as well, Moist. We've got a lot of boost to work with, but Rule 1 is set up as well. They've grabbed their corners, flip resets coming through, but all of Rule 1 in net ready to go.
They are ready to go, but I don't know if it matters how ready you are if you give Joyo that space. We've already seen the damage he can do. At the midfield, Clears trying to win it down, straight to Cash. Cash hovering behind the ball, will go for the 50 instead. Mawson trying to work the sideline. Juicy going for a challenge. Joyo back up. Will chase after it into a flip reset. Did he get it? I don't think so.
Oh, here goes Cash though, throws the Dominus. Mostyn makes it in the air. Moist have been on offense seemingly for the last 90 seconds here. Rule One get their chance. Clears awkward in midfield, has to keep the ball. He throws it over to Moss and his teammate. Roas gets a demo as well. This could be Rule One's chance to attack. Pushing off the backboard, one more touch. The shot, the fake out, double whifty. Absolutely love it there. The mind games coming through. The Russ off the sidewall, should I say. Keeping the ball in, more offense. Clears, drops the ball down. Roas is underneath. He's faking everyone out. But Moist are up to the challenge, and they're on the counter-attack themselves. Huge blink, Roas, huge save.
Roas getting up, dodging that bump attempt. Rule One was opting to play keep away rather than trying to force that ball through. It looked like it was working out for a bit, but it almost blew up in their face on that counterattack. Fortunately for Rule One, Roas able to make that tough defensive stop in an awkward position. Now, we see if Rule One can break through this midline defense. Cash, big boom, all the way back to Roas. Roas leaving the corner boost for a teammate. Mostyn with a pinch. Joyo has to bail out. Juicy moves in. Mostyn to Clears. Clears with a 50. Down to Joyo. Joyo with a bit of a buffer. Trying to force it through. Can't do so.
Everyone on Rule One helping out there. Last man getting back in time. Cash now. Flip reset. Fake underneath. Over the top. Clears awkward on the front post. Gets a double save if you don't mind. Joyo keeping the ball in for Moist. What can they do here? Can they break the deadlock here in game 4? Minute 30 now. Cash pushing forward. Roas meets him in the air. Rule One now. Counter attack. It's end to end. Rocket League Clears gets a huge 50. Juicy back in time. And gets Demo for his troubles there, as well as Mostyn has to work the ball out. Again, more midfield 50s, more pressure. A huge demo from Cash could open up an offense here for Moist.
Roas with speed. Pitches that across. You can see Rule One is just trying to clear this ball out. Every clear is finding somebody from Moist. Rule One not able to keep as much possession as they'd like. Moist now moving in. The double tap from Juicy off the post, almost going in. And Moist still set up shop, trying to get this broken through.
Oh, so close there, but again, Rule One, they're ready to attack. They're not worried about that chance. Mostyn over the top. Great touch from Joyo there. Roas trying to keep the ball forward. Is it Rule One's turn? Is it going to be their day in the sun? Off the backboard, fake out. Clears has to be worried about Juicy, and for good reason. Their demo's coming through. Now it's Joyo, last man. Again, there's so much time wasting going on from both sides, trying to wait for some support in defense.
That was a critical 50-50 win just moments ago with Roas on 0 boost. After that demo from Juicy, they were at risk of letting Moist march downfield, but Rule One has kept this ball in Moist half. Final 10 seconds, 0-0. Could be a chance shaping up right now, but Juicy dodges the bump.
Here we go, still going to be in the air. There might be one last chance here, ladies and gents, or are they going to put it down? You betcha. Another overtime. How many can we have?
Well, right now, that is 4 straight overtimes in this series. Every game going to overtime. Rule One won the first 2. Moist stopped that streak.
Oh, great fake.
Will they get another win here?
Such a good fake there, but couldn't get the second touch. Roas working the ball down now for Rule One. Cash meets him in the sidewall, and a flip reset as well. Mostyn awkward, but does recover in time. A little bit of a breather now here in this overtime as both teams just get their bearings again. Khalil's very awkward on the sidewall, but again, Rule One seemingly not putting a foot wrong so far in defense. Joyo flip reset, doesn't get it to work. Khalil's is downfield, and he might have a chance. The bump coming through, Cash waiting. And a great defensive play there from Moist, holding on for now. Roas, 1 more, 2 more. Joyo just parries it to the sidewall.
Yeah, we'll see if Moist can keep up those smart bumps while they're on defense. Trying to shut down Clears, who's been so good. That shot going wide, but Cash getting tangled up. That leaves space now for Mostyn. Mostyn, the 50. Cash trying to curve around. Will keep possession on the ball, going for the musty pass, and he gets some height on it.
I love seeing a little bit of flair there, even in overtime. Everything on the line here, lower bracket. Joyo now, who's the hero last game, and he's getting met straight away. Rule One know how dangerous he can be. They're going to start instant challenging when he goes for those solo plays. They're all backing up now. They're all in the same spot. This is the Rule One special, sitting so close. Low 50, staying behind the ball. Is it going to work out, though, because Cash is off the backboard. 2 of Rule One ready for it.
And you saw, though, that they did not double commit. Mostyn having gone for that ball Well, his teammate stayed on that back wall. That is critical. You can be close to each other. It's just the jumping part that can get you in hot water. And there's a ground pinch, but Juicy was there to make sure it didn't go into net.
Yeah, both sides ready just in case right now, and that's what you need in that overtime. A little bit scared of pushing too far forward. Joyo flipping forward, caught under the ball. It's BDS all over again on Utopia. Handing the ball back. This time Cashball's ready. And Moist, they're going to get away with it.
Well, they're still struggling a bit with the side effects from that touch from Joyo, but Joyo almost ended it again, all by his lonesome. Mawson, the flick pass over to Ruas. Ruas to Clears, and Ruas and Clears both trying to work together.
I love it. I love the improvisation. It hasn't worked out just there, but it could later on in this overtime here. Rule 1, sending the ball forward. They do have boost as well. Clears gets the 50 that he needs. A big whiff from Juicy, but Joyo's ready. Perhaps called off that one. Goes for the reset off the ceiling, gets a beat out as well. Mawson's having to back up. 50's coming through, Cash is ready. But this could expose Juicy, last man. They're going for the bump. They've got the bump. They've got it on net!
Do not let Clears get in a 1v1 because he'll put you 6 feet under.
On to match point, Rule 1. And 1 game away from bringing their friends Twisted Minds to the World Championships, securing a main event slot for themselves, and ending V1's hopes and dreams.
Who would have seen this coming? Rule 1. Just a short time ago, it didn't even seem like they were favorites in MENA. And now look at them. They are taking down region after region and have really propelled themselves to the top of MENA.
I mean, they were the little brothers to Falcons for so long. We thought that even if Rule 1 made a major, they're not going to perform as well as the Falcons. They don't have the presence. They don't have the pedigree, the experience. Forget about that. These kids are 1 game away from Champ Sunday, 1 game from top 4, James.
And you could see in that Mobile 1 high performance replay, the solo effort from Clears in the one-on-one. We've seen that used to perfection by Rule 1. So comfortable with that air dribble bump play. It's not as easy as it looks to be able to get that space and execute it perfectly. You have to let that ball keep its pace, be in the isolated one-on-one situation, which itself doesn't happen too often.
Look at that as well. 8 months of pro for Roas, already potentially into a top 4 at an RLCS major. And then after that, who knows at the World Championships. But for now, can Moist do it? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Moist Esports, backs are against the wall. Rule 1, they want Champ Sunday.
Moist. They need someone to step up. Juicy has been quiet this series. Joyo had that one brief moment where he was shining, but overall it's been quiet. Rule 1 already early on having chances. Clears will race to this ball.
They're panicking in net already here, Moist and Rule 1. They want to end this here. They don't want to give Moist any sort of momentum in this series. As a Mexican wave just goes circling around this arena here, the Aganis Arena in Boston. Spring Major. What a crowd as well. First day here on the Saturday. Cash gets the beat out. Can Juicy get a one-on-one? Joyo's going for the bumps. Roas again. They've been so solid in these little one-on-one mini battles.
Well, and there's an opportunity for a brief moment. Moist trying to throw everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Mawson with a nice read will clear that to the corner. And Joyo's out of boost. Will have to bail out. It's a high pop, but you can see nobody from Moist wants to go. And finally, when they do, it leads to another one-on-one. Ruas going for the pass, trying to slow it down for his brother Clears.
Great positioning from Juicy to block that one out, but they're not done yet. Rule 1 pushing for Juicy again. He is the man. A counter-attack. Clears gets back in time. And it's been all Rule 1 here in this game number 5. Joyo meeting Clears in the air. Juicy gets some time to work with. Off the corner, one more maybe. Can Cash get to work? He's got a flip reset, throws it across. Juicy, boy, still on offense, still with flips to work with and boost. Can they get some reward for this effort?
We will see. It's been a big push from Moist, weakening the defenses of Rule 1. But somehow, it seems like Rule 1 find a way to rebuild time after time. It's a bounce. Left for Cash. Cash back to the Mustang. Doesn't make contact. Now corner pass over to Joyo. Rawas there to break up that play.
They're always just meeting each other in the air, and they're just learning from that early experience with Joyo. But that's a great touch from Cash. Opens it up for Juicy off the backboard. Joyo can't commit. It's not hard enough, but maybe he'll be rewarded for his patience. Great infield pass, shot across. There you go. It's Cash Kami.
Cash coming up big time right here for Moist. The infield pass from Joyo was perfect, and finally we see them break through. Mawson he was close to saving that. How many times have we seen Rule 1 save that? But it just goes to show you that persistence is key. Moist have the lead. They're gonna need to hold on to it for another half of the game.
Yeah, Cash living up to his name there, the cannon, so much accuracy. Camera West answer back, blocked out by Juicy. Rule 1 trying to get their first on the board, trying to tie it up here. As Cash gets beaten out again, Mawson pushing forward, a counter-attack now for Moist. Not enough power on that one. Joyo meeting it in midfield now. Rule 1 backing up. Again, pretty awkward in net, but and they are awkward. They're so dangerous down the other way. Mawson faking it out, clears. Joyo meeting him in the air. That's a great touch for Rawas. He's got a free double. Can he get it to anyone? Drop down shot, blocked out by Joyo.
Joyo! That was huge. Sweeping across. You could see that Rawas was trying to play for that rebound out to the middle. Joyo expecting that, however. Mawson with a tip. Clears already airborne. Joyo jumping late. Joyo will tip it back down. Wide open net. And an easy goal for Moist.
Yeah, they just got a little bit over-enthusiastic here. Look at Mawson, third man, just racing Juicy to the mid-boost. He needed to be worried about the net, about the counter-attack, because the touch from Clears wasn't quite what he wanted. And Rule 1 give up an easy goal there.
I think Mawson putting a lot of faith in that player that was airborne to at least get another touch. Joyo trying to force it through. This has looked like a much better game from Moist. Perhaps Moist can have some hope, even version 1 fans at home. A glimmer of hope that maybe Moist can bring this comeback.
He might be breaking the record for the longest Mexican wave, but it is dwindling in numbers. Can we get some people standing up in the arena as Juicy tries to get the third on the board here for Moist? Offensive power now again off the sidewall. Cash trying to keep it in. 1 minute left. This game is Moist for the taking. They need it as well. Joyo, there's the third on the board. There's life in this comeback.
Moist not giving up that easily. It's going to be a bit tougher than that, Rule 1. They were off to a hot start. Overtimes every game, but it looks like this game is firmly in the corner of Moist.
Yeah, 52 seconds now, Moist. This should be a clinical finish, but the kickoff hasn't gone their way. Mawson's got to throw it on net. Great save from Joyo. Juicy throws himself at it as well. And now Joyo still has boost. He's still in the air. He's looking for a bump as well. Great save from Clears. They don't need to be saving it, James. They need to be scoring some goals.
And they might get one here. There's a hard shot, but Juicy there to block it out. Clears trying to read it off the bounce, but Juicy will air dribble it out to the corner. Austin, this is a wide open net, and it's going to be good. Rule 1, trim the lead to 2.
Yeah, this next kickoff will be very interesting. If anything, just some momentum going into Game 6 for Rule 1. But with 22 seconds left, I want to see some kickoff strats here for Rule 1. What do they have in the locker? Rawas on the double diagonal with Joyo. It's pretty standard. The bumps are coming through, though. Mawson throws it on net. I didn't mind it, but Joyo's rotation, or Juicy, should I say, was perfect there for Moist. This should be game right now, and 1 back for Moist Esports.
Chance to surely end it. And with that time ticking away, Moist made adjustments. They had to call a timeout. They had a tight game. They battled back, and now here, facing elimination. They stay alive for 1 more game at least.
You just know it's going to 7, don't you, ladies and gentlemen, here in the arena. We know it's going all the way to Chamfield. Rule 1 do not want that. They want to stop it here, Game 6. But Moist Esports, this org, it doesn't matter who's playing on the team. I know Joyo's been there from the outset, but they've got plot armor, James. They've got this land buff. They always find a way, even when everything's looking against them.
And interestingly enough, CJ, We do not see a timeout called from Rule 1. Rule 1 is just going to let it roll.
I mean, not calling a timeout now, it shows confidence, but if they drop Game 6, it's Moist Esports with all the momentum moving onto Champions Field. Well, let's just see if it pays off now for Rule 1. They're going to keep it in the back pocket just in case they do drop Game 6. But I probably would have called it here, James. I'm a massive fan of the timeouts and the stats behind them. As this arena gets loud once again.
This could be the last hope for North America in terms of version 1 making it to the World Championship. All that stands in Rule 1's way. And an extra spot for Mina is Moist. Moist trying to make this comeback happen. Game 6, Neo Tokyo, let's go.
It's EU taking on Mina, but this North American crowd doesn't seem to mind. As Juicy winning the kickoff here for Moist, offloads it, but Kalirs all of a sudden does get a chance. Early aggression here from Moist, pushing forward. Cash there, we saw last man. Happy to push forward as the chance ring around this arena now for Moist Esports. They want to see them take this one out. And maybe because of V1 with a World Championship berth on the line.
The main event spot for Rule 1 if they can pull out this win. Joyo shut down by Rawas. Mawson didn't really make contact. It's chaotic in front of net. Kalirs trying to go back for the 50. Still bouncing all around. Mawson going for the 50. Rebound out. And Juicy will get a long clear, but Joyo has no boost and he'll have to turn back.
Rule 1 are so good at these low 50s. They're almost known for it. Just getting everything behind the ball. More demos coming through. This time it's Mostert on Juicy again. Rule 1 showing the aggression off the backboard. Cash whiffs. We don't like seeing that, especially with the pressure, with the stakes at its highest right now. A great demo again. Roas this time. Rule 1 are just giving each other so much space through this physicality and aggression. It's going to be Roas throwing this one up, trying to look for a teammate or a bump. Doesn't quite find it there, but Kalirs keeping the ball in. Mostert just commits, gets a great dunk, gets one more as well. It goes one shot on net. Joyo, huge save, follow up again. It's all Joyo in net. Moist hanging in there. Flip reset. Boston one more. But it's got to be too far wide. Juicy is so deep in net. They're panicking, Moist. But it's still 0-0.
Joyo the magician pulling a save out of his hat. Is that an omen for this series? Can Moist really pull it back from the brink?
Great save there from Kalirs, throwing it downfield, but it is Moist again, getting a chance to push forward. Lost them throwing it to the sidewall, finds Roas. Finds a touch as well, delayed flip over to Kalirs, I love it. The brothers working together. Kalirs tracking back down the line, there's Mawson there, Juicy now, Moist throwing it forward, throwing the ball. Getting on the attack. Roas very awkward in net, but I mean, they're so awkward, but they've never made a mistake so far. As Roas now gets a touch, gets a solo play, gets a reset, finds Kalirs, Juicy, huge save, Cash again. Moist hanging in there.
Moist, they are pushed all the way back to that goal line, but they managed to continue to save these. But how long can you play with fire before you get burned? Mawson getting pull shot into that hit. Kalirs' excellent jump on that challenge. Joyo getting demoed off the ball. Juicy will also get beat by Mawson there. This puts Moist on the defensive. 2 jump for Moist. This is looking grim right now for Moist if Rule 1 can get possession.
Oh, it's just there. It's a big stop.
No! Catches it on the dribble.
What a half flip there from Mawson. Moist almost stealing a goal there. Joyo getting bumped. The physicality, the change up from Rule 1. They didn't need the timeout. They still found something as Mawson makes a huge save for Roas there as well. Cash trying to work the ball forward, but Moist, they're in trouble again. They're in net. The speed in which Rule 1 can work this ball downfield. Look at that, even there. There's no third man, but they're still getting back in time, and they're still looking to attack.
That was a great play from Kalirs, getting that hit as he was rotating back to make sure Moist couldn't set up an attack. But now Cash finds a flip reset potentially. Tries to slow it down. It bounces over Joyo's head. Roas might try to pinch this down, but no, just opts to get that corner boost steal. And Joyo will clear it out.
They have both teams giving the other opportunities, but Neither can make the most of it. Neither can take advantage here as Roas gets a great 50. He's got boost to work with. Fake underneath. How about Mostyn? No, he gets a whiff. Roas follow-up, throws it up high. Joy has been bumped! Joy has been bumped! Khalid goes whack, rule 1-1 zip.
Mostyn! If at first you don't succeed, just bump!
52 seconds for Rule 1. The meanest seed on debut at LAN to make a top 4, to make main event at a World Championships, to bring Twisted Minds, or can Moist do something about it?
We will have an answer in just a few seconds. Cash. Over to Joyo. Back down. Cash will lob it towards that. Joyo's airborne. Joyo back to Cash, but Cash has 0 boost. Still the flick pass, and that's saved out to the corner. The defense from Rule 1 stands tall yet again.
Oh, they're bringing in all stops. Another chance here, Roas. They're fighting for their lives here, Rule 1. They want to lock it out. They don't want Champfield. Moist want every single part of Champfield. Cash keeping the ball in. Roas huge clear. Joyo has to track back. 12 seconds left. He's got boost. Can he make some magic? Can he be him? Can he get the ball forward? Juicy throws it. It's Roas. Is it going to be Rule 1 stay in the sun?